Take a look at what's happening at Progressive Field. Seems the Cleveland Guardians are going to be looking to take these signs down because, of course, pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz are accused of rigging pitches. And as you probably know by now, they are indicted in a sports betting scandal. Nick Camino is here now with what we're learning this afternoon as well. Did I read right? They could get 65 years for this?
That is part of the indictment there, Christy. This has really been sobering for baseball fans and Guardians fans the last couple of days. We knew this was going to be coming to a head eventually, but yesterday, when you got to look at the 23-page federal indictment with the details surrounding this gambling investigation with both Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase, it's very disconcerting. It hurts seeing all of these potential details and what they have found. So Ortiz was scheduled to appear in a Boston courthouse today at 3 o'clock to face these charges. Those charges include fraud, bribery, conspiracy stemming from an alleged scheme to rig individual pitches that led to gamblers making hundreds of thousands of dollars. According to the indictment, Ortiz was brought into this betting scheme by Clase. Now, Clase still is not in custody that we know of. His attorney did say in a statement that he will fight these charges, that he's innocent of these charges. The details surrounding Clase are super disconcerting. You think about texting gamblers during and immediately after games. It appears Clase was the ringleader with this and roped Ortiz into it. According to the indictment, Ortiz and Clase, they were paid between $5,000 and $7,000 each time they helped these guys win a bet. For more on all this, we bring in Zack Meisel from The Athletic, covers the Guardians throughout the baseball season, at spring training, all the time. He joins us on Sunday nights a lot, too, here on WKYC. And Zack, you think about this, you think about those numbers I just mentioned, $5,000, $7,000. Just to put into perspective, a guy like Emmanuel Clase had signed a $20 million contract. You think about throwing it away for this. It's just unbelievable when you really think about it all.
It is, Nick. And if you think about the fact, Clase's contract could have ultimately paid him $38 million. And these are two pitchers in the primes of their careers, 26, 27 years old. So you just wonder how many tens of millions of dollars they potentially threw away for whatever this was. It's certainly not as beneficial as the money they could have made playing baseball, something they were really good at.
Okay, so you and I, we knew this was coming to a head, right? We knew that these details would emerge. But yesterday, you get the 23-page federal indictment. What stuck out to you the most? What's the most damning thing? What's the most disconcerting part of it all?
Yeah, I think the brazenness of it, the fact that this was going on dating back to May of 2023 with Clase. Ortiz didn't join until mid-June, supposedly, this season. Yep. And after two instances implicating Ortiz, they finally caught wind of this, right? So how did this go not caught for almost 2 years? Why did it finally pop up to these integrity firms that monitor this unusual betting activity? And, it's interesting with Clase. It started in 2023. That was a good season for him, not a great season by his standards. There's no evidence in the indictment of Clase doing anything wrong in 2024, which is the season where it was one of the best relief seasons we've seen in years. Finished third in the Cy Young voting. And then in 2025, a bunch of instances included in the indictment, and it was a rocky season for him until he was ultimately sidelined by this investigation. So it leaves you with a lot of questions. You want to know the motivation behind it, why these guys decided to get involved in this. And a lot of these questions we may never know the answers to, Nick.
You have great professional relationships with a lot of the players that are on the current roster, with the manager, Stephen Vogt. What have these guys, what's the vibe that you get? What's the feeling from these guys besides being, hurt by it all?
Yeah, I mean, you want to presume innocence until these guys have their day in court. But it's tough in the middle of a season especially. And this was a season full of turmoil for this team that went through a 10-game losing streak that sputtered and fell 15 and a half games behind in the division. They were dealing with enough that I think they got pretty fed up by the outside distractions. It's no coincidence that a couple days after Clase gets wrapped up in this, Ortiz was wrapped up in it a few weeks earlier. They cleared out those guys' lockers. They moved forward. And lo and behold, they started playing better, and they charged back and won the division. So I think it reached a point where, trust is so important for any sports team. You have pitchers who, innocent, guilty, whatever it is, if you jeopardize that trust a little bit and you have a pitcher on the mound and that pitcher makes a pitch that maybe looks a little curious, you're always going to be thinking, right? And they frayed that trust. And it's really hard to ever get that back.
We read the indictment. You've talked to people. We're starting to learn some of these details now. But, as I begin to look at it, these guys, when throughout the course of a season, they spend more time with these players on the roster than their own families. It's just the grind of a baseball season. Did somebody have to know something? I mean, the fact that it was just two guys, lone wolves out there doing their thing, I wonder if there's more to all this, Zach.
That's one question. I think Clase had reached a stage in his career where he had proven time and again that he was going to get the job done. And he was such an accomplished closer, led the league in saves 3 straight years. Again, finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting, which is so rare for a reliever, and had become the preeminent closer in baseball. So I think you put up with more of the headaches. You put up with more of the stuff behind the scenes that might irk you if it's a rookie or if it's someone who's not accomplished. But he was so accomplished, and despite anything he might have done off the field, he was still getting the job done. Even these outings, the vast majority where he supposedly was predetermining pitches, he got the save or he didn't give up a run. And so, I think that makes you look the other way on certain things. And with Ortiz, I just think they didn't know him that well. Yeah. He wasn't on the team very long. And so it makes you shake your head, and it makes you question everything behind it and why this happened.
You talked about trust. It's just been a whirlwind with all of this, and not in a good way. Zack Meisel from The Athletic, nice enough to join us here in studio. Christy Paul, going to send this back to you, and I don't think this is the end of all this. I think we're going to hear much more when it comes to all of this, when it comes to the gambling investigation, more on the indictments and what's happening in these courthouses too.
Yeah, there's still so much to go through, especially, primarily in that legal aspect of it. Nick, great interview. Thank you both so much.